everyone, my name is Leanne and today I'm going to be bringing you a non-fiction book haul. I really like doing specific hauls for non-fiction because I have very different relationships with non-fiction books than I do with fiction books, and I know some people aren't always interested in non-fiction books. I have some physical books to talk about and I have some e-arcs to talk about, so I'm just going to get into the books that I have acquired over the past few months. The first book is one that has been on my TBR for so many years, and that is The Birth of the Pill by Jonathan Aig. Now this is published by Pan Macmillan and it is a book all about the history of the pill. I'm really fascinated by the pill and people's experiences with the pill. I've had relatively okay experiences with it. To be honest, I would say really positive experiences with it compared to what I've heard a lot of people discuss. I am really looking forward to learning more about the history of the pill. One thing that does slightly concern me about the pill is the fact that it is a relatively new medication, so we don't have a lot of research into the long-term effects of taking it. I think I should know more about it because of that. The next book I have is gorgeous, and that is Lost in Translation by Ella Frances Sanders. This is published by Square Peg and it is, I guess, kind of a picture book. Yeah, it's a picture book that is about the untranslatable words from around the world, so words that only exist in one language. The illustrations are gorgeous. I think they are amazing. And obviously I'm someone who is really interested in language, and I find it fascinating that there are words to convey things that only exist in a particular language. It completely fucks my brain up. Expect to see a lot of this book on my Instagram, I think. By the way, if you don't follow me on Instagram, you totally should. It's probably my most frequently used bookish outlet other than YouTube. There's just a lot of trash on my Twitter, but my Instagram's quality. It's the best place to be if you want to be updated on what I'm currently reading. Next up, I have Weird Things Customers Say in Bookshops by BookTube's very own Jen Campbell. This is something that I've wanted to read for such a long time, even before I really knew who Jen was, before I was on BookTube, and it's pretty self-explanatory. It is weird things that customers say in bookshops. I've wanted to work in a bookshop for a really long time, and I kind of wanted to save this book for when that was happening, but I don't think I can resist it anymore. I work in a shop that sells books, but when I think of a bookshop, the place I work isn't the thing that springs to mind, but I think it's going to be close enough that I'm going to find a lot of the things in this quite relatable. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. And a book that I decided to pick up because of Jen Campbell, and I did actually get it at work, is Raising the Dead: The Men Who Created Frankenstein by Andy Dugan. Dugan? So the story of Frankenstein is something that bookish people and non-bookish people alike are very familiar with. But I think few people actually realise that Mary Shelley's fantastic Gothic story had a huge basis in fact. This book focuses on an event that happened in Glasgow in 1818. Yes, November 1818, where a group of men tried to raise the dead. This one sounds fascinating and I'm really looking forward to reading it. Moving on to the e-arcs that I have been sent, I have The Actor's Life by Jenna Fisher. You're probably most likely to know Jenna Fisher as Pam from The US Office. I watched The US Office fairly recently. I watched it last year. I first started watching it when me and my boyfriend started dating, and we kind of decided that I would watch his favourite shows, The US Office, and he would watch mine, which was Brooklyn Nine-Nine. But this is essentially a memoir by Jenna Fisher about what it was like when she moved to Los Angeles when she was 22. She had a theatre degree and she had hopes and aspirations of becoming a really successful actress. And this book is all about that plan not going exactly as she imagined it. It's all about her path to becoming a professional actor, and this book also has a foreword by Steve Carell. Having watched The US Office fairly recently, I'm really looking forward to getting to this one. Next up, I have Feel Free by Zadie Smith. I have only read one Zadie Smith book before, which was Swing Time, which I had mixed thoughts on. I have a couple more of her fiction books on my TBR, but I do have a feeling that I will get on with her non-fiction slightly better than her fiction. So yeah, this is a collection of essays about a range of different topics, a lot of contemporary cultural topics, political topics, but also about Zadie Smith's own personal life and her experiences as a writer. I love a good essay collection, and I love the fact that it's very easy to read an essay collection in just like little snippets. And and I think this is going to be one that I'm really going to enjoy. Next up, I have A Good Time to Be a Girl by Helena Morrissey. In this book, the author draws on her experiences of being a CEO as well as a mother of 9. She is also the founder of the 30% Club, which is a organization which is about striving for equal pay in the workplace and gender equality in the workplace. I think this book is going to be quite different to some of the feminist nonfiction I've read in the past, because I think it's going to be quite business based and talking about the actual business and financial merits of having diversity in the workplace, which is something that I'm really interested in, and I think it will equip me with even more knowledge than I already have when you get into arguments about meritocracy with idiots that don't know what they're talking about. I'm not sure how intersectional this is going to be, however. I'm not sure if it's going to focus on white women in the workplace. I don't know whether it's going to acknowledge the fact that it is much harder for women of color to get into positions of power in business. And the final nonfiction book I'm going to talk about is I Know a Woman by Kate Hodges. I think there are a lot of books like this out there at the moment, these beautifully designed feminist books that tell you about influential women throughout history. This book deals with 84 pioneering women, but what I thought was quite interesting about this book that made it stand out from a market that could be considered to be quite saturated at the moment. This book is about the links between these incredible women, the relationships between these women, how they have influenced one another. I think some of the names in this are going to be quite familiar, but hopefully there will be some that are not, and I will be able to learn a lot about some people that I haven't heard about before. And I'm also crossing my fingers that this is an intersectional book that deals with women from a lot of different backgrounds and have different experiences, and from what I can tell of this book so far, I think that it will, but I will report back and let you know. So yeah, they are all of the nonfiction books that I'm going to talk about today. Do let me know down below if you've read any of them, if there are any that you would recommend that I get to super duper soon. Also, if you feel so inclined, feel free to share your experiences of the pill down below, because as I said, I find it absolutely fascinating. No two women have the same experience with it. Whatever you would like to chat about, leave a comment down below and we can have a little chat. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will talk to you guys in my next video.